handcuffs, prison clothes, a rough tone.
Now you in the jailhouse and you snitch!
These aren't convicted prisoners, but children. But why are they in jail if they didn't commit a crime?
Keep going!
To find out, we head to Chester, South Carolina. It's Friday, just before 6 o'clock in the morning. These kids will spend their weekend in jail, even though they didn't do anything wrong. Among them, Cottrell. He's just 8 years old. 6 o'clock sharp is the start of the weekend experience. Those responsible for it, their own parents. Cottrell's mother, Deandra, has voluntarily sent her son here.
His attitude, his outlook on life, his grades, so start back going up. It's like I'm looking for a positive impact on the behalf of this.
Jail for getting bad grades. The parents pay $75 to treat their children as real criminal offenders. We are shocked by the harsh treatment. Courtney also finds it difficult to see her 14-year-old son Nola like this, but she's afraid that he'll come off the rails. She sees this weekend as a last resort.
I felt bad, but I would feel even worse if I was somewhere having to identify him or anything of that nature. So, because the way he is, that's where he's at.
A weekend in prison as an extreme educational measure. Time to say goodbye to their parents. Nola and the rest aren't staying here any longer. With flashing blue lights and sirens, they head to the prison. The goal of the officers is to push the children physically and mentally to their limits. For the next 2 days, these blue walls will be the home to Nola and the others. Deputy Boyd is taking part in this program for the first time. How does he find the harsh treatment of the kids?
So you just gotta be mindful that they are children, but they gotta change their life now, so when they do get of age, they have a better path.
Some of the kids are actually in real trouble. Nola's mother thinks her son is hanging out with gang members.
You run the street over there? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Talk. You run the street over there. You run one little gang.
But is this kind of deterrence the right way? Children should learn what prison life feels like, and everything that goes with it. Contact with the outside world and their parents is only possible through a thick glass panel. And in the middle of the conversation, the officer interrupts them unannounced.
Did you get to talk to him?
Yeah, so you got to get me on the phone.
Courtney is visibly shocked, but that's exactly what the officers want to achieve.
I see my mom, my dad, my aunt, my grandmother, and I can't touch them because there's somebody behind me screaming, yelling, and not allowing me to touch them.
As the time comes for the parents to go home, the kids can take a breather. Can Cottrell even understand what's happening here?
I feel sad because I miss my mama.
Nola looks exhausted.
What do you think about all this?
How do the officers justify the extreme handling of the children?
Life is harsh, so what would you prefer? You would prefer for us to be hard on them and here to keep them from coming in here? Or be out on the street and learn street lessons, those harsh lessons, and end up in here? Which one is better?
Extreme deterrence. This program has been around since 2012. An important part of this is meeting real inmates. But before that happens, Cottrell and the others have to spend their first night in a cell. The next day, it also starts with a drill. But the tone changes a bit. Deputy Boyd and the other guards call it the building phase. They try to talk some sense to the kids.
That's the wrong path. Hey, keep going down.
You will be in here. If you keep hanging with us, you will end up in here or a place like this.
Gang member or just rebellious? A profile for the program doesn't exist. The decision to send their children to prison lies solely with their parents. Before Nola and the others meet real inmates, it's time to go to the nearby city park. Social work time. On the way over, we drive through Chester. Drugs and gangs are a big problem here.
And we had a 14-year-old about 3 weeks ago get killed, gang-related.
Lieutenant Neal is a co-founder of the program and a Chester native. But his connection is even deeper with the kids.
And the reason why my heart is in this program is because I once was at-risk youth. I was actually a bad youth. I did the gang banging. That's why we take so much pride in the program that we're doing, because we all once were there.
The police voluntarily sacrifice their weekend once a month. They're not paid, but it's worth it. Deputy Graham even took part in a similar program as a teenager.
And that's how we're able to relate to the kids. That's how we're able to relate to a whole lot of stuff on the street that we deal with, because we've been there, we've done that, we know what's going on.
But they don't realize that the program could also harm some. They're convinced of the program's success. Out of around 750 children, 7 had serious problems with the law afterwards. Back in prison, we also notice a change. The mood is more relaxed. Then it's time for the children to be left with the real inmates. Some of them are even in for murder. The ugly truth.
Man, you know why I'm here? I don't give a damn about you. You know why I agreed to do this? To get the hell up out of my cell for a few hours.
Nola's big dream, to become a professional football player.
If you want to play football, you come to jail, you better play football.
Go to college. Be somebody's life. You can be doctors, lawyers, teachers, whatever you want to be. Living in the street, all thing you're doing is cutting your life short. That's it. That's all you're doing. I'm telling you, the street is not the life you want to live in.
The meeting leaves its mark on the boys.
It changed me from a little boy that I was to a man. Changed the whole attitude, changed the anger.
The last task for the kids is to write a letter to their parents.
You write that letter to your parents, pour your heart out. They already see improvement in you and you, along with the rest of it. And who did it?
Encouragement is also part of the weekend.
Do you know what you're going to write to your mom?
I am sorry for being bad at school. I'm going to write some more.
Are you mad at your mom for sending you her here?
No, ma'am.
As the children write their letters, Deputy Boyd and the others make some time for them. They share, above all, their personal experiences.
I've been to college. I played college football. I mean, if you can do it, man. And I come from the same neighborhood you come from. Grew up probably with the same people you grew up with. You gotta make decisions to take that different route.
Nola's conclusion to the weekend? The kids are almost done. Sunday morning, 6 o'clock. Courtney and the other parents come to pick up their children. You can sense the tension. Did Nola learn anything from this weekend?
I think I learned my lesson, and this program to stop disrespecting you and follow by your rules at all times.
Mama in my class, I am sorry for being bad at school and being disrespectful.
The parents are relieved, and so are the children. Is that just because the weekend is over? A weekend in jail for an 8-year-old. Is that really necessary?
Do you think that was the only option
Well, not really. It's like after the class, from looking at a different impact on things, I was like, maybe I could have done different things differently. So it was basically changing.
Deandra seems reflexive. Courtney seems relieved. The method is questionable, but at least the policemen really seem to care about the children. And for them too, a long weekend comes to an end.